Hello everybody, welcome to KPIS Delhi's CARE initiative, Current Affairs through Reverse Engineering. These are the articles that we'll be seeing today. Let us look into the first article for the day. Government approves e-vehicle policy. The highlights of this e-vehicle policy are important for prelims. So the policy says that there should be minimum investment of rupees 4150 crore with no cap on maximum investment, and 3-year timeline is given for setting up of manufacturing facilities in India and start commercial production of electronic vehicles, and 50% of domestic value addition to be reached within 5 years at maximum. Okay. And the investment commitment made by the company will have to be backed up by a bank guarantee in lieu of the custom duty foregone. Why this bank guarantee? Because this bank guarantee will be invoked in case of non-achievement of the minimum investment criteria defined under the scheme guidelines. Okay, so these are some important points, and we also know that there is something called FAME, Faster Adoption and Manufacturing of Hybrid and Electrical Vehicles in India. Okay, this is a scheme and it aims to achieve sales penetration of 30% for private cars, 70% for commercial vehicles and 80% for 2 and 3 vehicles, three-wheeler vehicles by 2030. Okay, it is under Ministry of Heavy Industries. Okay, now consider the following statement. With reference to electrical vehicles, the government has set up a target to achieve 30% electric vehicle penetration in the country by 2030. Yes, this is under FAME India scheme. Now, second one, to promote electric vehicle in the country, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan was launched in 2024. No, it is not 2024. This was launched in the year 2020. In 2024, what is it? It is e-vehicle policy. Not this National Electric Mobility Mission Plan. No, this was launched in 2020. So, which of the above statements? These are incorrect. Second statement is wrong. So, B is the answer. With reference to the agreement at the UNFCCC meeting in Paris in 2015, which of the following statements these are correct? The agreement was signed by all member countries of UN and it will go into effect in 2017. No. 2016 in November, it already went into effect. It is now 2017. So, this is wrong. Select the correct answer. So, when 1 is wrong, A is gone, D is also gone, 2 is common. So, 2 is correct. Third statement, developed countries acknowledge their historical responsibility in global warming and committed to donate $1,000 billion a year. It is not 1,000 billion, it is $100 billion. Okay, so this is also wrong, which means B is the answer. Methane emissions from fossil fuels remain high, says IEA. What is the context? The context is that the International Energy Agency has released a report. What is it? Global Methane Tracker 2024. In this report, it has made this statement. Okay. What are the highlights of this report? 120 million tons of methane was emitted. Okay. In 2023, which is slightly higher than 2022. Second one, out of this 120 million ton, 80 million tons of methane emissions came from 10 countries. And who topped it? It is USA, followed by Russia. Next is not China, it is Iran. Okay. And who are the best performers? Norway. Norway is a best performer. And China, what is China doing? Where is it standing? It is standing in 6th place and 6th place in overall methane emissions and first in emissions from coal operations. Okay. So, first rank is USA, second Russia, third is Iran, 6th is China, and China is standing at rank 1 in the category of methane emissions from coal operations. Okay. And it also says that the world needs to slash methane emissions from fossil fuels by 75% by 2030 to achieve the Paris Agreement of limiting the global warming at 1.5 degrees centigrade. And it also mentioned that in some regions, the emissions are falling down. That is, there is decrease in emissions. However, overall, if you take, the emissions remain far too high to meet the world's climate goals. Now, some basics about IEA. It is headquartered in Paris, and in 1974, it was actually established as part of framework of OECD. OECD in the wake of 1973 oil crisis. Okay, and India is an association country since 2017. Okay, and what are the reports that it is producing? It produces World Energy Outlook, Future of Rail Opportunities for Energy, and World Energy Investment Report, Global Energy and Carbon Dioxide Status Report. Okay, all these reports are produced by IEA. And you should also remember that a candidate country must be a member country of OECD. However, to be a member of IEA, that country has to be a member of OECD. But all OECD members are not IEA members. Okay. So, if this big circle is OECD, the small circle will be IEA countries. Okay. Consider the following statement with reference to recently released IEA's Global Methane Tracker 2024. According to the tracker, methane emissions in the year 2023 were 120 million tons, which is less than previous years. No, it is one of the highest emissions till date. Okay, so this is wrong. When one is wrong, which of the above statements is are correct? This is gone. This is also gone. 3 is common, so it is correct. Just read second statement. The United States is the leading contributor among methane emitting countries with a total of 80 million tons. United States alone is not emitting 80 million tons. Okay. Top 10 countries together emit 80 million tons, which is approximately 70% of the total emissions. It is not just United States. Okay. So this is also wrong. So 3 only is the answer. Which of the following statements is correct about deposits of methane hydrate? Global warming might trigger the release of methane gas from these deposits. First of all, what is methane hydrate deposit? See, when the amounts of methane are trapped in the sediments beneath the sea floor, frozen into a form of water ice, it's called a methane hydrate. Okay. So, due to global warming, if the temperatures of water and seafloor become warmer, then the hydrates can break down. Okay, and they will release methane gas. So, first statement is right. Correct answers, they are asking to select correct answer, right? So, B is gone. Now, large deposits of methane hydrate are found in the Arctic tundra and under the seafloor. Yes, this is right. Methane in atmosphere oxidizes to carbon dioxide after a decade or two. Methane is relatively short-lived in the atmosphere, and a molecule of methane is oxidized to water and carbon dioxide within a decade or two. So, this is also right. D is the answer. India and Belarus relations. So, Belarus foreign minister is visiting India, and hence this is the news. For prelims, what is important? The countries that are surrounding Belarus. So, Belarus is surrounded by Russia. It is a landlocked country, okay? That one thing you have to remember. The second point is it is surrounded by Russia, Ukraine, Poland, Lithuania and Latvia. And here again small piece of Russia. Okay, so it is a landlocked country number 1, and it is surrounded by these following countries. And this is comparatively a smaller country. It is 1/3 the size of Ukraine. When compared to Ukraine, it is a smaller country. Okay, this is for prelims. And other points that you have to remember coming to India-Belarus relations, India was amongst the first countries to recognize Belarus as an independent nation in 1991 following the dissolution of Soviet Union. And when it comes to multilateral cooperation, in multilateral forums like UN Security Council and Nuclear Suppliers Group, Belarus was crucial in supporting India's candidacy for non-permanent seat in the UNSC in July 2020. And Belarus is an important source of potash fertilizers for India. and Indian students also enroll in Belarusian medical universities. Okay, so these are some important points. Consider the following countries. How many of the above mentioned countries share a land border with Belarus? As we've already seen here, Russia, Ukraine, Poland, Lithuania and Latvia. So Ukraine is there, Poland is there, Lithuania, Latvia, Russia. So D, all 5. Consider the following countries. How many of the above mentioned countries share a land border with Ukraine? Okay, so Ukraine, here you will have Russia, here you will have Belarus, Poland, Slovakia, Romania, Moldova, and it has opening into Black Sea and Sea of Azov, and Hungary. Okay, now Bulgaria, no, Bulgaria isn't there. Czech Republic, no. Hungary, yes. Latvia, Lithuania, they are bordering countries of Belarus. Okay, Romania, yes. So 3 and 6, that means only 2. Is India's poverty rate really at 5? What is the context? The context is that according to Niti Aayog's BVR Subramaniam, the poverty rate in India has dropped to less than 5%. This claim is based on the findings of the Household Consumption Expenditure Survey conducted in the year 2022-23. You should know that currently there is no officially declared income poverty line in India. Experts use the Tendulkar line, adjusted for consumer price inflation, and World Bank's purchasing power poverty line of $2.15 a day, both of which indicate poverty rate of less than 5%. What is this Tendulkar committee? This is important for static part. Okay, Tendulkar committee was formed in the year 2009 with Suresh Tendulkar as its chairperson, and they recommended a shift in poverty estimation from calorie consumption levels, and it also recommended a uniform poverty line basket for both rural and urban India. Alright, consider the following statements with reference to poverty in India. According to World Bank, India's poverty rate has dropped to less than 5%. No, it is according to Niti Aayog CEO, Chief Executive Officer BVR Subramaniam's statement based on a survey. Okay, so this is wrong. Recently, Niti Aayog committee recommended a shift in poverty estimation from calorie consumption levels and proposed a uniform poverty line basket for both rural and urban India. No, this is wrong because it is not Niti Aayog committee, it is according to 2009 Tendulkar committee. Okay, which of the above statements is are incorrect? Both the statements are incorrect. So C is the answer. In a given year in India, the official poverty lines are higher in some states than in others because poverty rates vary from state to state. No, price levels vary from state to state. This is correct. And this is because of the interstate price differentials of different commodities. Okay, so B is the answer. Employment status of wages in 10 years. Recently, Bahutva Karnataka, a forum for concerned citizens and organizations, released a report titled Employment, Wages and Inequality. The report says that the number of self-employed individuals has increased substantially over the past decade. And the report mentions that about 34% of the households in India earned less than the proposed NFLMW. What is this? The National Floor Level Minimum Wage. And how much is it? It is rupees 375 a day. And it says that about 34% of the households in India earned less than this proposed wage. And what is it saying about wage gap? It has increased. The wage gap has increased or widened between the rich and poor. Consider the following statements with reference to employment status of wages in 10 years. According to the recent report, the number of self-employed individuals has increased substantially over the past decade. This is correct. The report mentions that about 34% of the households in India earned more than the proposed NFLMW, that is National Floor Level Minimum Wages of rupees 375 a day. Earned more? No, they earned less than this threshold. Okay, so this is wrong. Wage inequality has widened the gap between the rich and the poor as indicated by the report. Yes, this is right. Which of the above statements are correct? So first and C is the answer. Disguised unemployment generally means. So disguised unemployment generally means more number of people are engaged in a job which can be done by fewer people. Okay. See, 5 people can actually do that work, but instead of that, the employer is hiring 10 people, okay, to do the same job, which means these 5 people's marginal cost of productivity of labor is 0. Okay. What value addition are they doing? Nothing actually. This means these extra people can be removed without affecting the productivity, right? So it is large number of people remain unemployed. No. Alternative employment is not available. No. Marginal productivity of labor is 0. Yes. C is the answer. The HbA1c test. What is this? This is not related to visas or something. It is hemoglobin A1c test. And it is short form for glycated hemoglobin. So why is it in news? Why is it in news? Because its significance to tackle diabetes, number one, and India is estimated to have around 10 crore people with diabetes and another 13.6 crore people who are pre-diabetic according to a nationwide study that was published in the year 2023. Alright. So how does this test work? Sugar enters the bloodstream from the food you eat, and sugar or glucose attaches to the hemoglobin in your red blood cells, and this hemoglobin protein transports oxygen to all the cells of your body, and every cell has every cell and hemoglobin has sugar molecule attached with it. Okay, those with pre-diabetes and diabetes have high amount of sugar. Okay, that means the percentage of RBC cells that have sugar coated or glycated cells, they are high in number. Okay. So is this test a alternative or replacement of the actual test for sugar? No, definitely not. Then what is the difference between this test and the normal diabetes test? See, while fasting and post-meal blood sugars tests give you blood sugar levels within a specific time frame, the HbA1c test reflect your average food glucose levels over past 2 to 3 months. Okay. While traditional blood tests may fluctuate depending on items that the person has taken in the last meal when they last consumed it, this test, HbA1c test, is independent of those variables, making it more reliable. Okay. So these are some basics. And coming to types of diabetes, see, diabetes, you have type 1 and type 2. What is the difference? In type 1 diabetes, there is also an autoimmune disease. That means your body cells are actually attacking the pancreatic cells, and therefore the pancreas will produce little or no insulin. While type 2 diabetes, the body is not able to use the insulin that it produces. Okay, and type 2 diabetes, there is more prevalence. 90% mostly cases of diabetes are type 2. Consider the following statements regarding HbA1c test seen in news recently. It is most commonly used test to diagnose pre-diabetes and diabetes. Yes, this is correct. The test may fluctuate depending on the items in the person's latest meal. No, it is in the traditional test, not in HbA1c test. This is the advantage that HbA1c has over other traditional tests, that it does not fluctuate. It is independent of what you have eaten. Okay, so this is wrong. It gives blood sugar levels within a specific time frame. No. This is given by the traditional sugar test, but this HbA1c test gives you sugar levels across, average sugar levels across past 2 to 3 months. Okay, so which of the statements given above are incorrect? 2 and 3 are incorrect, so B is the answer. With reference to the use of nanotechnology in health sector, which of the following statements are correct? Targeted drug delivery is made possible by nanotechnology. Yes, because of the size. Nanotechnology can largely contribute to gene therapy. Yes, this is also correct. So D is the answer. T.M. Krishna gets Sangeeta Kalanidhi Award. Who is this man? T.M. Krishna. He is a Carnatic vocalist and also a Magsaysay Award winner. And he was selected for the Sangeeta Kalanidhi Award for Music Academy for the year 2024. So some basics about this award. Sangeeta Kalanidhi Award is a yearly award given to Carnatic musician by the Madras Music Academy, and it is the highest honor in the field of Carnatic music. It was established in the year 1942, and prior to this year, the Music Academy's annual conference was presided over by a senior musician or expert. But after the institution of this award, Sangeeta Kalanidhi awardee will preside over the academic sessions of Madras Music Academy. Okay, so before 1942, the award wasn't there, no? So some senior musician would actually preside over the meeting. However, after the institution of this award, the awardee will preside over the annual meetings of the Music Academy. And this year, it is T.M. Krishna, right? So he will preside the meetings or the annual conference and concerts of the Music Academy that will be held in the month of December 2024. Okay. Consider the following statements with reference to Sangeeta Kalanidhi Award. This Sangeeta Kalanidhi Award was established in 1942 by Madras Music Academy. Yes, this is right. It is given annually to a prominent figure in Carnatic music. Yes, this is right. Carnatic music is one of the two major genres of Indian classical music, with Hindustani music being the other one. Yes. So, which of the above statements are correct? All the three statements are right. To integrate cultural leaders into the meetings, which one of the following gives Crystal Award? It is given by World Economic Forum. And one more tidbit you have to remember is that this year the Grammy Award was given to Shakti, a fusion music group comprising tabla maestro Zakir Hussain and singer Shankar Mahadevan. They won the 66th Grammy Award 2024 for Best Global Music Album for This Moment. And who gives Grammy Awards? Originally, they were called Gramophone Awards, and it is a series of awards presented annually in the United States by the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences. Okay, so for 2024, these people got that. This is it for today. All the best.